Okay, so it seems you guys like to watch videos on installing different types of operating systems and maybe even some automation, so that's what we're going to be going forward with. Today I will show you how to install Debian 8 64-bit virtual machine. Just type in the name and all of these should auto fill out for you, and you hit next. I usually give 2048 as the memory because I have enough memory in my laptop to do that. Next. And then I create the virtual disk. I just select all the defaults, dynamically allocated. I usually give the disk at least 128 gigs and call it Debian 8. I usually try to keep everything called the same thing as the host name so I don't get confused. And there it is. But now I usually go through all of these tabs and make sure everything's fine. System, base memory, yeah. Processor, you can always give it as many as you have available. We can try to give this one 2 processors, but it might crash or slow down my system. Base video memory, I usually crank that up, and I usually enable 3D acceleration just in case it has those 3D animated desktops. And for the storage, you always have to go and click empty CD. I usually choose the image that I'm looking for, and it's in my downloads ISOs Debian. Where is it? Debian. We're gonna try this one. The net install usually goes well, but that, as you saw, is i386. So we might get an error message. If we do, we can always change back some parameters. So let me show you what that does. I usually go with the graphical install. And it seems like it's going to let us go through with it. So I usually choose English. Wherever you are, of course, choose what you need. English, United States, American English is what I use. I usually just leave the host name as what it is. You can call it anything you want, really. Domain, I'll just put mine, laurencatz.com. Root password, I'll just use password so I can remember it. Full name of the new username. You can add a user here if you want to. I'm just going to use my name is Vince. Now you can change the user account name if you like to. I usually use my first initial last name. Password, I will use password once again so I don't forget it. I'm in Central Time Zone. Choose your time zone here. Debian 8 is pretty easy to install. It's pretty much just like installing Ubuntu or CentOS. Here I'm going to use the entire disk and set up some LVMs, logical volume management. So just in case we need to add another disk and expand a disk on the fly, this will allow us to do that. Or you can use an encrypted LVM, but that seems to slow down the systems a lot. And I'm just going to choose the default. I'm going to do separate home, var, and temp partitions because I just like that setup better. Are you sure you want to write those to the disk? Now, most people think it's going to write to their main hard drive on their laptop, and it's not. It's going to install, it's going to write to the hard drive you created for your VM. So there's no worries there. And here's everything it's going to do. Finally, partition and write to disk. Say yes. Hit continue. And yes again, just to make sure that's what you want to do. But again, it's not doing your main hard drive, it's doing your VM hard drive. And it's going to go ahead and format. And it's going to install the base system packages. Because it was the net install ISO, it's a smaller ISO that goes out and grabs the base packages from the Debian site. Okay, so configure the package manager, United States. I usually go with the default FTP debian.org. Seems pretty reliable. I'm not using a proxy, so I won't fill that out. Now it's going to go ahead and configure everything. I will come back when this finishes and we will continue. Thanks. Okay, we're back. So here is where, if you want to participate in any package usage surveys, and I just usually say no, then it's going to start selecting the software to install. Now you can install all of them if you like to, and switch between the two. Switch between 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 different desktops. I usually add the SSH and web server. I've used Mate. I like it. It's a little quick. I have not used LXDE. I've used Cinnamon, KDE, Xforce, and GNOME, and Debian. I can show you. Let's do the Mate. Let's just try all of them and see what happens. I've never done that before, so let's go through that together. We might be able to choose which login we want right at the login screen, but as you see, there's over 2,000 packages, so I will pause the video again and I will be right back. So, as you can see, I'm at the library doing this video. It says 5 hours. I don't plan on being here for 5 hours, so I might pack it up. Pause the video, pack it up, and continue it later. So it finished installing all of those packages. Now we have to choose a display manager. I've usually only gone with the default, so I'm going to use GDM3. I'm going to continue. I don't know how long this part's going to take, because again, I'm still at the library and their network is kind of slow. But I will be back. I'm going to pause it and then I'll come right back. So I'm back, and it took a while, but now it wants to install the Grub bootloader. What this allows is for automatic booting of the operating system, and you usually want to say yes. It's going to install it into your hard drive that has the boot directory on it. So I'm going to say continue, and I am going to say this hard disk because that's the only hard disk we have on the system, and it's going to install it. It's finishing the installation. Installation complete. Now we can continue. It's going to reboot. Hopefully it's going to eject the ISO, which it did, and now we can wait for the timeout or hit enter to do the login to start the boot process. Password, I believe. Lowercase p. Welcome to your first panel. Choose the setup you want to first set up. We'll use the default. I do not want to save my passwords in plain text, so I'm going to say no. Okay, so here is the application menu of the default window manager that we chose, which is kind of cool. Easy to access, easy to use. It kind of looks Apple-ish. Here's your Windows directories. Not Windows, I mean your file directories. Kind of looks like Windows-ish as well. File manager. You can go around your system looking for files. You can create directories, delete directories. I mainly do work in the terminal, as you know. Let's log out and see if we can switch the window manager on the fly. And let's see. And I don't believe so. Unless, no. There is probably a config file that we need to change the bootloader, but I mean, you get the idea. Here's where you can find your programs. It installed quite a bit of stuff. That's why it took so long. I chose everything. Here's we're using X-Force. It's just a simple panel. Maybe that's why it booted up so quickly, but that's what we have for now. We installed a different version of Debian, as you can see, and that's that. So please subscribe, please like the videos. If you want to see something else, let me know. If not, I'll just keep going on and on and on, and hopefully we'll grow a channel to where we can start doing some more exciting stuff. Like I want to go into scripting next, but it seems like people are more interested in the installs. We can always do that. Here, as you see, my laptop wants me to upgrade to the latest and greatest version of Ubuntu. The last time I did that, it really screwed up my laptop. I'm at 15.10 right now, and I am itching to say upgrade, but I don't know if I should do that. So maybe in the comments somebody can let me know if I should do that or not, because it's a pretty new Asus laptop and it has a separate GeForce driver for the video, and that's exactly what 1610 had an issue with. It screwed it up and wasn't able to upload it to the latest and greatest drivers. So as you can see, I've got a lot of virtual machines. We can keep going on with the installs of virtual machines. We can do other things with them if you like. I know I have a video out there that has two of these communicating to each other. We automated a apt-get update, clean, and remove script that runs in cron tab. People seem to have liked that one, so just let me know. Subscribe, like, and I will continue making these videos. Thank you.